Holiday Inn, released in 1942, should be considered a Christmas classic, but for one big reason, it is not. It features big stars of the time, Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire, as you can see right there, and a bunch of other people who I don't know. And it's actually not a bad movie, but there is one big problem, which you already know from the thumbnail, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So it starts in December, obviously, Christmas, but believe it or not, this is actually kind of a Christmas movie, but not really, if that makes any sense. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Also, there is a colorized version by watching the original black and white, because it looks better than the colorized version. The colorized version looks very weird. So what is this movie about? It's about these two guys who like this one woman here. And one guy's like, oh, I'm going to marry her and we're going to live on a farm because I don't really want to do show business anymore. But I do like singing. The other guy's like, I want to continue doing show business because I like to dance. And they have a whole routine about it in their own show. Pretty much about the same exact premise they're going through in real life. And the girl's like, even though I'm engaged to the one guy, I'm going to go with the other guy because I want to be in show business more often. So the one guy who's Bing Crosby, by the way, he has a name, but he's basically just that guy. The singer, actor. And he realizes that doing work is very hard, and he wanted holidays off, but he's working for the holidays. And it sucks being a farmer. I mean, what do you expect? You're a singer. You're not going to have a good time doing chores. So Bing Crosby here is like, my farmer job sucks, but I'm going to make it better. I'm going to have this thing called the Holiday Inn, where I'm only open on holidays. I don't know how that's financially viable, but that's the idea. It's only open on holidays. Okay. Also, he's really bad at farming, because his peaches, for some reason, they explode. I don't understand how they do, but they do. While hammering in a sign, Bing Crosby here falls to his death. So he actually didn't die here, but he does have a meet cute with Linda here, who's played by Marjorie Reynolds. She's here because she wants to be part of his Holiday Inn play shows. He has shows for every time they have an opening for all the people to come in, because they don't have it open all year round. And during this scene, they play the most famous song for the movie, White Christmas, which I can't play because, unfortunately, copyright is a bitch, and even though this movie is like over 80 years old, or something like that, it's not 100 years old, and that's the copyright due date. So yeah, you look up the song, you get what it is. Actually, most of the music in the movie is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, especially for how old it is. Not that old music's bad, in fact, I think it's better than modern music. What the fuck are people listening to nowadays? It sounds like fucking garbage. So the Holiday Inn quickly becomes a success, even though it doesn't really make much sense how it would become a success. And he starts a relationship with this girl here, because they fall in love, kind of. Oh, and there's this scene? Like, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, there's two kids here who, as you probably know, are the only black people we see. There's also, they have a parent too, but for some reason one of them is like half naked. And obviously that's the girl one, so I'm actually censoring it right now. But yeah, I have no idea what the people were thinking when doing this. I know it's Baby New Year, but still, it's kind of a little disturbing. So, yeah, at the party, his old friend comes by, the dancer, Fred Astaire. He's all drunk because his dancing partner, who was supposed to be Bing Crosby's wife, ditched him for another guy. She's obviously not very good at keeping her commitment. And she drunkenly dances with the new woman who he wants to be with. So this manager sees them dancing. He's like, this girl's great. We gotta come on your act. Of course, Crosby doesn't want them to figure out that that's his girl. That's his girl he has now. That's not theirs. It's his. You know what I mean? It's an old 40s movie. You get it. But of course, since he's drunk, he doesn't know what she looks like. Should not get drunk, people. It's not a good idea. It then skips over to Lincoln's birthday. Yeah, it's not Christmas anymore. And yeah, Lincoln's birthday is apparently big enough to celebrate. Actually, they do talk about Washington's birthday. Never mind, I don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, everyone's come here, including Fred Astaire and his manager, trying to find that woman. And oh boy, we get to that scene. Because Crosby doesn't want anyone to figure out that his woman with Linda here, he decides a great idea to disguise her. And how is he going to do that?
Well, I thought it over. I believe our number would go a little better in Blackface.
Oh, I thought we were going to do it like this.
Well, that's before I thought it over.
Oh, For a month and a half, I've been dreaming how pretty I was going to look tonight. Well, here's my punishment for thinking so well of myself.
Do I even need to explain what the hell is going on? So far than, like, one weird scene with that kid, I don't really understand why one was half naked, whatever. There's like 3 black people, they aren't mistreated badly, so I guess we'll let it slide. You know, it has some connotation because the one character's named Mammy, which is a stereotype, but whatever. Then all of a sudden, this movie's actually pretty good and entertaining, and all of a sudden we get Blackface. Like, what the fuck, movie? I know it's an old-ass movie, but there's no excuse. There's no excuse. You can't make... Just to hide your girl, you can't make her wear blackface. That is racist. And yes, it does continue. This is a musical, so every little holiday has to have a song. And yes, that is Bing Crosby pretending to be Uncle Tom in blackface. What the fuck?
Whoa, is that Blackface, dude?
And yes, this scene goes on for a while. It's an old song. They go on for way too long, and yeah, it's really, really, really bad and awkward and uncomfortable. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Old movies. What were you thinking here? Like, what the fuck? I think the worst part about this scene is that it's plot relevant. Like, it's actually woven into the plot. I know some TV productions make it not part of it. But yeah, it's a pretty long section to cut out, and yeah, Lincoln was not the only person to free the slaves, so don't get your head in your ass there, people. Anyway, after that scene, we are not back to our movie without any racism. Well, there was, but we're gonna go past that and talk about this movie and pretend that didn't happen. Oh yeah, it did happen. But yeah, it's Valentine's Day, if you couldn't tell. While Bing is too busy playing his piano here, he gets cucked. Because his friend is like, oh, I want to date this girl now, or dance with her. It is now Washington's birthday, and they're celebrating by dancing. But Bing doesn't like the fact he's dancing with his girl, so he changes the song constantly while they're dancing so they won't kiss. So Freddy here, Fred Boy, Fred Bear, whatever, he's been staying around the Holiday Inn because he wants to get this girl to go with him to Hollywood, because that's all that matters, you know, is getting a dance partner, because remember, his other partner ditched him for a millionaire. I have to mention that, yeah, the woman is a gold digger. So Bing tells this guy with a really beat mustache to delay her from coming, so these Hollywood producers don't sign her up for this.
Shortcut to the shortcut. Shortcut.
So it's the 4th of July, and we get a bunch of war propaganda. This was actually added in after the effect. In fact, World War II broke out during the production of the movie, and they put all this wartime footage here to showcase, like, yeah, support the war. Well, I guess it was a good cause at the time. You know, we gotta fight those Nazis. Hey, look, there's FDR. Isn't it? So after her car got crashed, she hitches a ride with this woman, who was actually the beginning of the movie. She got lost, the billionaire guy, because I guess he didn't have that much money, and she wants to go in the act to get in Hollywood. And I guess whatever her name is, I forget, doesn't like that.
Listen, you're late for the show already. If you'd care to let me drive, I know a shortcut that'll get us there 15 minutes sooner. There's a farmhouse.
So Fred Boy here thinks it's a good idea to dance with fireworks instead of a dance partner, because he has no partner. Hope he doesn't burn off his crotch. So Lynn's kind of pissed off at Bing here, because, you know, she got her car crashed twice. Well, she crashed the one time, but, you know. And Bing's like, well, if you guys really want to do it, go inside and make that Hollywood movie. Also, for some reason, during this counter transition, we get a little animated segment of this turkey running back and forth for some reason. It's the only time there's any animation in the movie, so it's very off-putting. So Bingy Boy here is crying because he got cucked by his friend. Again, the second time it happened. Then he gets told out that, you know what, you're a little bitch. You should go after the girl, you like her that much. He's like, you know what, maybe I should. And I eat Thanksgiving turkey by myself. Though I will admit, that's one good-looking turkey. For some reason, it takes all the way to Christmas Eve for him to go to Hollywood, and they're like, fuck you, dude. We're going to trap you in the closet like Tom Cruise. This closet scene's never really mentioned again. Like, they lock him in, basically, so he can't get out. But he just goes on the other side, which is like, what's the point? It's so pointless. Let's just... So we see the set, which is the actual Holiday Inn set. They're making a movie based off the Holiday Inn, but they're actually making Holiday Inn movie. So it's like you're in a movie, in movie, in movie, in movie. Though it is clever that instead of building, you're filming outside the actual set they've been using the whole time for the movie we're watching. But in the movie, I can't even talk about what the hell I'm even going on here. We then get a reprise of the most famous song, White Christmas. So this is a Christmas movie. It ends at Christmas, so I'm sticking to it. It's Christmas. White Christmas is a very famous Christmas song, and it comes from this movie. It doesn't come from the movie White Christmas, which came after this movie. And she's all sad, by the way, because, like, I like that guy. I don't want to be in Hollywood anymore. And so they get back together. Because, yeah, I guess they did like each other. Who would have thought? I guess they forgive each other for one getting locked in the closet and cucking their guy constantly, but you know what? It's A-okay. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Holiday Inn. Before we get to the rating, I'd like to show you what the colorized version looks like, in case you're wondering. And, yes, this is someone going in and adding color to the film to, I guess, where their approximation is. I'm not exactly sure how it's really done. It's very controversial, actually, believe it or not, to colorize film, but I think it's interesting to watch them both ways. You know, it obviously comes off as something that's a black and white film that's being put color over it, but you know, it's a little interesting. And yes, in case you're wondering, they didn't edit anything out. So yes, they even colorized the blackface scene. I cannot believe they would do that.
But why? Thought the people seemed to like the blackface routine.
Did the people really like the blackface routine? Are you sure about that?
Think a blackface number on St. Valentine's Day would be novel?
Please, don't do it on Valentine's Day. Why? Here is the final rating for a Holiday Inn, and my review says it all. Might have been an 8 or a 9 if it didn't have the blackface scene. It is very jarring. It's kind of funny in a way, because like it's so bad. It's really bad. Like, oh my goodness. It makes you feel uncomfortable, but in a kind of funny way, if that makes any sense. It's very wrong back then. It's wrong now. It was wrong then. If they didn't have this, it'd probably be considered, I think, be watched more, in my opinion. I think it would have been up there more with other black and white Christmas movies, like It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on 34th Street. And those movies have an advantage over this one. They don't have any racism in it. So they hold up better than this movie. But, yeah, I think if you, now, if you're not too sensitive, or you, like, don't mind weird shit, go watch this movie. I think it's actually pretty good, in my opinion, other than that one scene. But if that doesn't bother you, then I actually do recommend watching it. It is very entertaining. If you like old classical music, you'll enjoy it. Though I think most of the songs are good. Unfortunately, the song they do during blackface routine is always in my head now, which is kind of annoying because I just think about that terrible scene. But yeah, White Christmas is a great song. The performances are great. The dancing's great. The pacing's actually pretty good for this old style movie. Some of the old movies have really bad pacing. This is not one of those movies, in my opinion. And it has some funny moments, so I think it's a good experience. Just that one scene. What were they thinking? And it's so hard to edit out, too. It's not like one of those things like, oh, I can edit it out. It's part of the plot. It's literally a part of the plot. You're like, let's do it again so I can hide her again. But what the fuck? Oh, yeah. If you're interested, I recommend watching it, but if you're sensitive to seeing racism in a movie, then don't watch it, basically. But thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more reviews.